Why would an average middle-aged professional risk everything for a stinking medal? This isn't about elite doping. This is about ordinary runners. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the I Don't Know Running podcast, where we share our experiences that make running fun and sometimes not so fun. I'm Lewis.
And I'm Mitch. And I was going to just add to that. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. I love how they paint the scene here. 80-degree day. You're wrecked. Salt stains everywhere. Cramping. You're dead. You cross the finish line. Next to you, perfect hair, dry shirt, no sweat. My assumption is not just built different.
Yeah, you ran a hard, I just think about that. How many times have you finished a race where you're salty?
Yeah.
And you look over, and I think there are people that are just built different that don't sweat like I do. But you look over, and someone that's like, you didn't look like you worked that hard.
No, you didn't run it. You didn't run what I just ran. So yeah, we're going to talk about cheaters on today's podcast. Let's start with the big one, the Rosie Ruiz legacy. For those that don't know, she won, quote unquote, the 1980 Boston Marathon.
She won it for a minute.
For a minute. It was record time. I do think, man, I'm trying to think. So I will say this right out of the gate. We're gonna give you some names. The best thing you can do is just go and look these up, because we actually looked up a couple. Well, we looked up a few, and it is really hard to get the right info on some of these. So this one though is easy, and I do remember like people going, "Where'd she come from?"
Well, 1980. How old were you in 1980? So you're just
Me? I was only 6. So
I was 2.
20.
Funny story.
Yeah. Now, she could not describe the course. Ends up, she took the subway. She cut part of the course to basically jump ahead and jump back in.
It's a point to point, so you can't cut the course. You just took a different method.
Yeah. This created the modern suspicion culture in marathon or marathoning. It was bold, and today's cheating is definitely quieter. But I would say that today's cheating is much easier to catch. Yeah.
But maybe we get into that. What drives people though? Like, why? Somebody's going to find out.
Yeah, it is.
Like, you do it for yourself. So,
well,
I would know I cheated, and I would not be happy.
I think that everybody does it for themselves. Well, I shouldn't say that. I know there's some that don't do it for themselves. I get it. But by and large, whether you cheat or not, you're doing it for yourself. The cheater just wants to get something for themselves differently. Like, you cross the finish line, doesn't matter. Time, 6 hours. But that is,
maybe that's embarrassing to them?
Well, that's just it. Yes. That's embarrassing to them. It's not good enough that they cross the finish line.
Because I got a lot of I got a lot of angst with this race coming up. Like, I'm thinking to myself, I just got my flights, and what's my expectation? I've never run this bad ever in my whole, like, even when I started out, like, it's rough. I'm still not tempted to cut the course. Like, we're
going to talk about some ways you can if you want.
I'm going to suck it up, and I'm still going to get it done. But it might be the most embarrassing race I ever run. But
I wouldn't say embarrassing.
But
time slower.
But for me, but you know what? I'm gonna do my best, and I'm gonna get it done. That's the only motivation for me, is to say I did it.
Yeah.
In the condition I've been in.
Yeah. I would not say that it. So I think that's where where would that come from though? The embarrassing part though.
I think that's it, is people think that they're better than what they actually are. And I think that's what motivates some people to cheat maybe. And I think there's two kinds of people.
I think we have too much concern with what others think.
I agree.
Because
people hide their Strava because they had a bad run.
Yeah. And it shouldn't be that way. That is not,
But
that
this
is
is times
definitely, yeah. Yeah, this is times 10. We are unfortunately living in a time where building each other up is not the goal.
Right. I'd agree.
Tearing each other down is often
way more fun, apparently.
So yeah, the average Joe cheater psychology. And this is why we're talking about this specifically, as Mitch just mentioned, because this isn't the people, well, we're not necessarily talking about just people that win races, because that is nearly impossible today, although we will talk about some that are pretty recent history, but not at the world level, right? So like none of the majors, nothing like that. I mean, think about it, like they have a car in front of them the whole way now with cameras. Boy, you'd be doing something pretty special if you could pull that off. I want to see that.
I think they deserve it if they can pull that off.
Heck yeah. They got like a hologram running for them or something.
Robot legs. I don't know.
There you go. I have seen recently.
Why is he wearing sweats?
I have seen recently on bikes, it's getting easier to
hide a motor in it.
Hide a motor or some sort of assistance in the bike. So there's that. So yeah, the social currency is greater than the prize money. It says most aren't chasing cash, they're chasing Instagram validation. Strava kudos, and I questioned that at first, but I'll say yeah, I do agree. Boston qualifier status, yep, and identity. And the Strava kudos, I went, well, that's dumb because if you see the Strava, you know they didn't do it. But oftentimes what can happen is they get on a bike, go slow, and it looks like they're going fast for running.
But you can nail it. You can say there's no stride. So you can still get caught.
Well, maybe if you've got that info, but
there was, like the incline, fastest known time and most times and all that stuff. We talked about this before. There was a guy that was cheating. He was copying his Strava segments.
Yeah, we talked about that.
So, but why? So it's the same,
Again, it's the Instagram validation. Right? I will say this, Strava just went through and eliminated tons of records or KOM or King of the Hills or whatever they are, segments, because they went through and cleaned up a bunch that were, maybe some were intentionally wrong, but some were not. And they just threw out a bunch.
Wow.
They just went through and cleaned up a ton.
So I'm not the fastest
anymore
on my bike anymore.
Not anymore.
My fastest bike run.
Yeah. The cheater's high. These are some more things that the average Joe, so the average Joe psychology, the cheater's high, getting away with something can create dopamine spikes. Yeah. Just like stealing something you can afford. You can afford it. You don't need to do it. Like the candy in the candy store, that kind of a thing. It creates they're looking for the dopamine spike. And you don't get that by buying it. You get it by stealing it.
Well, that you could get caught, and it's going to suck if you get caught.
Yeah. Similar to winning. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're looking for that cheater's high. It reinforces behavior. They're looking for extrinsic validation culture. Runfluencer pressure. Because you have a following, you have to perform, that kind of a thing. Posting splits publicly. We kind of talked about that with regards to like Strava. If I didn't do well, I got to hide it.
Yeah. I guess I didn't run today. How'd you get 4,000 miles in a year?
Yeah, right.
I didn't cheat, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. And this was a good one. Fear of posting a DNF. I mean, that's part of it. Man, that just sucks. But
yeah, DNFs hurt, don't they?
They hurt, but that is part of it.
Yeah.
It's just part of it. Man, if you are not putting yourself out there to have that potential, that's part of it, man. That's growth.
Yes.
That's huge.
It's what did you learn?
Yeah, what did you learn? Correcting, quote unquote, reality to fit the digital brand. Yeah, if you're supposed to be this and you post this, are you no longer conforming to your digital brand? The sunk cost entitlement. I paid $150. I trained for 6 months. I deserve this medal. What were you saying,
There's a
Let's maybe not name it. Just be careful.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm not gonna say it. There's a brand of race that
had a bad.
Well, yeah, they had a bad reviews because people couldn't make the cutoff. They'd bus them to the finish, and people could walk across the finish line.
Do you think
and get a medal still?
Were they doing that?
Well,
intentionally to get them the medal, or just getting them there and people were cheating?
I'm guessing they didn't get a time.
I don't know. I think you're right. But they were still getting the medal.
They could still get the medal because that's the big thing.
Well, and what else was that race, brand, or whatever company going to do with those medals at that point?
Right. Yeah. So it's like,
such and such race, 1998.
Like it'd be pretty crappy if they got a time and all of a sudden you ran, you barely finish.
Yeah. You busted your butt.
And here's the lady that took the bus ride.
They're serving drinks on the bus the whole way back to the finish. Party time. Your body fails, ego intervenes. And I love this. Is it fraud or just self-justification? Well, it's fraud. I don't think that one's hard. So now we'll jump into some of the ones that are kind of popular or big, I guess, infamous. This one is funny. Well, it's not funny. It's interesting how he did it. Mm-hmm. The porta, and they call it the porta potty time machine, and it is funny. That is what it's called. If you Google it, they'll call it that. Kelly Agnew, across the years ultra, he hid inside a porta potty. This says for 7 minutes. I was trying to figure out why that is. Maybe there's some sense to that. Emerged across the timing mat. Won multiple times before being caught. So he didn't just do it once and got away with it multiple times. And then we found 12 plus races that he was then DQ'd from. Yeah.
And what's funny is some of these races are really social too, like this across the years. Like everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
You think about there's certain race brands, like where there's a lot of the same people that show up and they run together. So people had to have some kind of idea like, oh, where'd he go? Yeah. He's a fast runner, but all of a sudden he disappeared. We usually are running together.
Oh, look, there he is. Hey, he's finishing. What? Wow. He won.
Wow.
Oh, we just missed him.
Again.
And I love this. He was finally busted by a timer watching the door.
Whoops.
Man.
Tackle him at the finish line.
Yeah. And I love this. Says that's not panic. That's premeditation. Yeah. That dude's just straight up. The bus podium. Rob Sloan, 2011. Keidler. It's like
Keilder
Marathon.
Looks like that.
Rode a bus for 5 miles. Claimed third place. Denied it. No, I didn't.
People saw him get on the bus.
Oh my goodness. What is this signboard? I mean, that was like, what was the St. Louis marathon we talked about with guys that got rides and he took
that was the Olympics.
Did he finish?
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, was he first? He was claiming first.
He was, and then when they busted him, I think he's like, yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah. Wait, my bad.
Whoops.
Take the wreath off my head. I guess I don't deserve that. The Subway Sprint. This is the Ruiz story. Rosie Ruiz for the Boston Marathon. And then the bib mule. And I think this is one that happens. I don't want to say it happens.
I think there's this has happened a lot.
Yeah.
This is where it gets a little dirty.
I think that there's some...
Because I've heard of people doing this.
Yes, and I think that some just do it because they're not trying to gain anything. They're just saying I don't care. I'm just gonna hand it off, and they're gonna finish.
Well, it's to get a Boston qualifier. So
wait a minute. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, Lewis.
That's different.
Yeah, Lewis. I can't get a BQ. Just put this bib in your pocket.
That is different. I was thinking something different. Yeah, well, both are wrong. Let me just be clear.
Because we were running a race. I used to travel with a bunch of guys, and one of the guys thought it was funny. He switched bibs with another guy because because he was 10 years older. And he knew that guy, and he was just going to let him put, and he's like, hey, this doesn't have my name on it. Ha ha ha. And it's like, no, that's not funny.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, there are definitely some like that you go, yeah, come on, man.
You were going to get me a Boston qualifier. It's like,
I'm thinking more. So here's what I was thinking. Two things. Number one, when it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Okay, whatever. But I did not realize, so I inadvertently did this.
Put somebody else's on?
No, I intentionally put somebody else's on, but I did not realize the repercussions of doing that. Because it was sub 2 hour at Riverbank. And as it turns out, they do not have a finish for that year either. I was not intentionally doing that. I'm trying to remember why. I don't think I was going to run it. He couldn't run it. And so he just gave me his bib. I was like, all right, cool. He would probably have been sub 2 hour at that time as well, too.
Oh, he felt bad. And I think he had him take it off.
I don't know.
I can't remember what happened.
I don't think so. I know that when I crossed the finish line, they said both of our names. And I think they're like, what the? Because I had on my 10K bib still.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I don't remember all of it now, but that was an inadvertent there's reasons behind this. So at any rate, not an intentional cheat. I was not trying to go for anything. But the other thing I was thinking of was a friend of ours who gave his bib to his brother to finish the second half. We don't need to say names.
Yeah.
And again, that was not an intentional hey, let's see if we can do this.
Yeah, he ran out of gas. It was just
he's like,
I'll finish
it. Yeah.
and you learn things since then. We're not a bunch of cheaters, but you learn things. It's not cool.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Definitely not. Yeah. And it, again, so none of that was malicious, but it still is wrong.
Right.
But you learn and you grow and you get wiser.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, where were we? So the Boston qualifier stuff, that's just,
you're stealing a slot from someone else that's honest.
Very true.
It directly affects somebody else. It's not just about you. You are affecting somebody else that actually put in the work and did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're not the only one in the world.
Yep. The digital, and so now let's jump into how some people are getting caught, the digital detectives, and I think this is the biggest one, and that's marathon investigation. I don't remember what sparked this, but I do know, I don't know, probably 10, gosh, time flies, probably more than that now, probably 15, 20 years ago, that this started. It says right here, the origin, the Mike Rossi viral dad case. Derek Murphy, the founder, I believe, of Marathon Investigation, they basically had a cheater, and I don't remember the why this started, but here's how they do it. They catch them by impossible splits. We've seen that. There's no possible way you're running a marathon record, beyond a marathon record pace. You could literally win the Olympics, Boston, everything you enter. It's not, you can't run a 2-minute mile. Missing timing mats. So they had a timing mat at the halfway point, but somehow you missed that one.
I ran around.
You hit all the others, but you missed that one. And then this is the one that I've seen a lot, photo timestamps. So they'll literally, because of where photographers are stationed, they don't station the photographers for that. But it happens to be that where they're at, they can say, you were next to bib such and such at mile 8. And then all of a sudden you moved up 500 places in a 800 person event.
I rode a bike.
How'd that happen?
Is that bad?
Yeah. Comparing stride patterns. That's interesting.
That's in your Strava. That's what I'm saying. So if there's no stride, you got on a bike.
Yeah. And then crowdsourced evidence, which has panned out. I will say that is one you got to be super, and Marathon Investigations is super cautious with that. They do not just take it from people. What, like, oh, Mitch cheated. Go do this.
Okay.
Here's my evidence. No. Let us do our thing, and we'll use your in addition to, right? There's also Let's Run forums, which I guess do similar. I don't really know much about that. I do know about Marathon Investigations because they do a good job, I feel like. They did the investigation of the guy that ran across the United States.
Oh, really?
They said there was some because it was I think it was a record-setting attempt or something like that, and they were like, the claim was he was getting into the vehicle and they were slowly continuing to go, so that he wasn't really getting that. And he would say, well, I shouldn't say that. I want to be careful. Like, the claim was, well, my battery died or whatever, so we were swapping watches or something like that. Or so they don't only do marathons; they'll do big events, FKT type stuff, and then race organizations using remote timing and video, which makes sense. Technology made cheating easier, and technology has made cheating easier too. I would say to catch.
Yeah. The technology makes it catching them easier.
Oh, yeah. Catching.
Yeah.
And then, this was an interesting one. The Larry Macon question.
I remember when this happened because I was a big fan of his. I saw him at all the races.
Yeah.
So he's a big marathon maniac. And he had the most marathons out of anybody. He was this old dude that would run 6-hour marathons, always wore the same thing, had a crowd of people around him.
Was he at Circular Logic with us?
I can't remember.
I think he was, because I think Brian knows all those old guys.
There's a couple of other guys.
There were.
Yeah.
But he pointed out, maybe it wasn't him, but there were a couple of guys there that were in that same realm. It says 2,000 plus marathons, 113 in 1 year.
I think that's been beaten now, but yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Record-setting endurance, it says the scandal in 2018. When did we do Circular Logic? 18.
Maybe.
17.
We did it a couple years in a row.
17. It was the year I went to Boston, right? Or not Boston, Western.
Possibly.
I think it was
Is that
the
when we
same
did
year.
when we did the 8 hour? Is that what you're talking about? Maybe.
Well, yeah, because we only went once and then it moved. Remember?
No, we did it. We did the marathon there like twice.
The year before.
Yeah.
And then I went the second year, I think.
Yeah, because you went. Yeah, we did it.
Was it no
2 or 3 times because they had only the marathon at one time.
Oh,
and I think I went just with Nicole that year, with just the marathon.
Oh, okay. So I'd been, well, I don't know. At any rate, I don't know why I'm thinking of that. But at any rate,
we got squirreled.
The scandal, 2018 Mo Bell Marathon. He repeatedly skipped a 0.2 mile out and back. Well, number one, that adds up. And he was corrected by the marshals, but he continued skipping. So he was eventually DQ'd and removed from Marathon Maniacs Hall of Fame.
Because that was rough for me because he was a likable guy. And I was like, tell me it's not true. And people just blew him up, like on all the forums and stuff. Like everybody all of a sudden hated Larry Macon and they just ripped him apart. It's like he still did a lot.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. And I heard people out there that talked directly to him and he had an attitude about it.
Did he?
Yeah. So it was like really unfortunate.
I look at that and I go, was it grumpy guy syndrome? Grumpy man syndrome?
He typically was not a grumpy guy. He was a nice guy.
I wonder if it was.
But I wonder if it was that, like, I have a following. I have to get this done. I'm having a bad day. You know what I mean? But
But point 2, think about that. Even if it was a 1 mile course, which maybe it was. Well, what is I guess we'd have to look it up. Should have looked that up. The Big Mo or the Mo Bell Marathon. If that was.
Because there's a lot of those record marathon, like those record getter marathons are like 1 mile courses. Like a lot of those are. And a lot of marathon maniacs do those. Yeah,
to get their
just to get their stars. It's like, I don't choose to do those because Circular Logic was fun for its own reason. But
it was a blast.
But I wouldn't do that for every race because I'd like to see the scenery. I like to,
Yeah, 100%. I think that every race is different. Every race is fun for its specific reasons.
I don't want to do little out and backs for every race. I don't even do that in my backyard.
I hate it. I hate it. Every time when Kalamazoo would, because for whatever reason, Kalamazoo always had to adjust their course, and it was annoying. Matter of fact, I have a, and I wasn't even the fastest. I just happened to have Strava at the time that I ran it. And because of that, I have the fastest marathon for that route on Strava.
Yes. Well, they probably deleted it.
No, I don't know. But they changed the course. They only had it that course for that year.
So you're
because of a rerouting for water.
You're a legend.
And it was because I was pacing, I think.
Legend.
And because the other two pacers didn't have that at the time. Legend.
We don't know that.
Legend. I can't find if Mobile is I can't
I
find
think it
the
was one of those
0.2.
small ones, but
I do see here now this 0.6. And it is definitely not a loop course now, so maybe they took care of that. At any rate, he repeatedly was skipping this, and he was corrected, and they said, well, guess what? You're out. Was it a mistake or was it fatigue? Who knows? I think you're right, though. Probably played into this is what I do. I have to get through it. So yeah, everyone that has cheated, either whether that be a Boston qualifier, age group, podium, course record, social media brag, they take something from someone else. 100%. And you can say, well, if they didn't age group, if they didn't even age group win, right? Or even place age group, right? You can say, well, what did they really take? Well, they still took away from somebody that cared where they placed and put in all the effort. And let's say that only the top 3 in age group got awards, and he was fifth, or they were fifth. That person that put in all the effort still could have gotten fifth, right? You took a spot from them. That matters to that person.
Yeah, 5th out of 6 instead of 6 out of 6.
Yeah, right. There you go. Yeah. I mean, and it could
I wasn't last.
And it could be 5th out of 100.
Right.
It doesn't matter the range. It's that you took a spot. Now, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you took a spot. You take away, even if you finished, you cheated to finish last. You're still taking something from those that finished without cheating. Doesn't matter. You still take away. The real finish line isn't the tape. It's the point where you decide who you are when no one's watching. And I think that's really good. Who you are when no one's watching.
I think that's transfers of life. Who are you when nobody's watching?
Yeah. So let us know. Couple of questions. Have you ever been tempted to cut a corner?
Of course.
I think we all have, right?
I'm having a bad day.
Tempted.
And then I'm like,
Yeah, you still have to put in the work.
I got to do it.
Is finishing honestly more important than finishing fast? I hope the answer is
Absolutely yes.
And would you rather DNF publicly or cheat privately?
Not cheating.
Don't answer that. Don't answer that in our comments. We don't want to know. But let us know, have you ever been tempted to cut a corner? And I know we all have. And what did you do? How did you handle it? How did you get through it? And how much happier were you that you didn't? That's going to wrap up this episode of the I Don't Know Running podcast. Be sure to tune in next time as we share more about what we just don't know.
Until then, happy running.